Hello and welcome to Real Health Conversations. I'm your host, Leah Williamson. I am just waiting for my co-host, Holly, to join as well. So hopefully she will be here in a second to join in. We're doing this live from our Real Health Conversations Instagram page. So, Holly.
I don't know how to turn my camera around. There we go.
It's facing the wrong way. There you go. Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Welcome to Real Health Conversations. This is your host, Leah Williamson, and my co-host, Holly Jean. Welcome.
Hello. Hello. This is our first Instagram Live. It's very exciting.
It is very exciting. So we decided that we're going to try a new format. We're going to do our co-host episode where we recap the latest episodes and have a little bit of a chit-chat via our Instagram page and then put that up live. So if you're hearing different sounds to usual, Holly's sitting outside enjoying summer.
I am. Well, I'm sitting outside enjoying a record heat wave that we're having, and that's only because I have a puppy inside. So it's either listening to the sounds of nature in the sweltering heat or be annoyed by a puppy inside.
Well, I'm jealous because it's cold here and I'm sitting inside a cold room. So
Okay.
I like the sound of cicadas anyway.
Okay. I just like the way you say cicadas.
All right. So we're going to recap the latest episodes. So this month saw us changing our format changing our name really from low carb conversations to real health conversations. And, there's a few reasons we decided to do that. And the main one being that, we do talk about real health a lot more, not just low carb. So we really wanted to be able to express that in a way that feels comfortable for us. It just felt right. So we decided on the name change, Real Health. Hopefully that resonates with you as well. And we're hoping to get lots of different guests on from different areas of health and wellness as well. But this month we decided to kick it off with our friend Marty Kendall from Optimizing Nutrition. And that was episode 484. And we decided to get him on and talk a little bit about nutrient density. That's his topic. And in relation to a forum question that I had seen where somebody was asking whether you can have carrots and beets on a keto diet. And, it's such a big question to unravel there. And like in episode 485, Holly and I talked for half an hour about carrot and beets. So you can go and listen to that. But we've been trying to tie the month's theme together around nutrient density and signs of nutritional deficiencies, signs and symptoms, and what you might be deficient in, common deficiencies, how that manifests in the body, how we can get nutrients back in the body. So we've been talking about that for the last 3 episodes. Holly, I'll let you speak.
Yeah, and so our conversation with Marty, it was so great. And actually, it was my first time speaking with Marty. I know he's been a friend of the show for a long time, but it was really nice speaking with him because he has such so much information. And really the conversation was about going back to the question of can you eat carrots and beets, but it's digging back into a conversation we've been having about our online forums, the appropriate place to ask for health advice, how to ask deeper questions as to why is that a concern to you, and then those follow-up questions about nutrient deficiencies. And yeah, as you said, that's what we've been talking about this month because it is something everyone talks about macronutrients a lot, and a lot of times we skip over or ignore completely the discussion of micronutrients. So that is what we have been talking about.
Yeah, definitely. And all those little micronutrients that are so good for the health of the body, that are our vitamins and minerals, and that's what we've been talking about. And I guess, one of the themes of the question, I guess, that we spoke with Marty about too was like, what are your priorities? Is it more important for you to have those nutrients in the body, and in what way and what form can you get them into the body? versus the label of being keto or low carb or whatever that is. Like, is there a bigger issue there? And if eating, and then another question to ask in that is like, if you're eating a carrot and that is throwing you out of keto, then maybe you've got some other underlying issues that could potentially be happening there as well. So they're kind of all the questions we've been looking at, been talking about. In our latest episode, which was episode 486, that's out this week, if you haven't listened to it already, we talked more about signs and symptoms of nutritional deficiencies and common nutritional deficiencies. And we did talk about a macronutrient deficiency, but there's a lot that goes in with that. And that was like fatty acid deficiency. And we discussed, like, that's a pretty common deficiency that many people who are eating like a standard Australian or a standard American diet are facing, because we've been demonizing fat for so long. Holly, what were your takeaways from that episode?
Yes, demonizing fat for so long, which I think is a trend that we have definitely come out of, especially I think our generation and younger. I think they are getting the new memo that fats are actually good for you. But the other thing we talked about that was the dangers of eating those processed foods and those highly processed and refined fats and those industrial seed oils, and how even if you are eating healthy fats, those unhealthy fats are going to make you fatty acid deficient because they block up our fat receptors, and they clog our body from being able to absorb the good fats we are eating. So that was a good point there as well. I don't remember. What else did we talk about?
Well, I find it really interesting. We did focus a lot just on the fats because that's a common one, and I think it was important. We had a lot to share about that one. But interestingly, I've been feeling a little bit tired lately, and I thought it was because, my new lifestyle of getting up really early to teach yoga and Pilates, and it's winter here, and so like it's just a little bit hard to get up in the morning. But I was finding I was starting to crash around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's been starting to make my blood sugar a bit unstable to what I'm used to. And I was thinking, what is it? I'll just go and get everything checked because I've got Hashimoto's as well. So it's always good to just make sure my thyroid's in check, especially like with the autoimmune condition. Any little bit of like sleep disruption or stress disruption can give me a bit of a Hashimoto's flare up. So, all those things aside, I went and had the test done, and it came back and my iron is getting low and becoming iron deficient. And this is something I've struggled with a lot over my life, is having low iron, to the point where I think back in 2020 was when I had a test done. It was really quite low then. And my doctor, who's not a functional doctor, but I can straight talk to, which I really appreciate, said to me, your iron and my ferritin was really low. And I want to send you for a iron transfusion. And I was like, I'm not sure I want to do that. I want to find out the reason why it's happening. Can you give me a couple of months to try and see if I can build my iron levels back up again? And I think iron is a really common deficiency. A lot of people have it.
It is. Mm-hmm.
And so many people are tired from iron deficiency all the time. I think that's another problem. You're tired. Some people even get short breath. That's some of the symptoms of it. And a lot of things I think, you just take for granted could be a sign of iron deficiency. Anyway, so I went away and I was like, I looked at all the things that could be depleting iron in my body and seeing, or where I'm not absorbing the iron that I know that I should be getting in, because I eat I eat a lot of red meat. I eat a lot of foods. I eat leafy greens, all that kind of stuff that, I eat a lot of food that potentially has iron in it. And so I looked at, and I read a study about how black tea can be a depletion of iron stores. And I was like, oh, wow. So I've checked off diet, as in terms of my regular meats and veggies, that's all good. I'm getting that in. So that's probably somewhere I'd look with a client as well. Are they actually eating a nutrient dense diet to get iron in their diet? And if they are, what are some other areas that are depleting it? Or what are some other areas that are causing lack of absorption? So then I was like, okay, so I'm drinking a lot of tea, and I read an article about black tea causing depletion of iron, which I didn't know. So I was like, wow, that's really interesting, because the more tired I get, the more black tea I drink, which is in turn that vicious cycle. But I do love a cup of tea. Maybe that's my English ancestry. I don't know. But I do like to start my day not with a cup of tea, and I won't have a tea bag. I'm sorry, I'm a bit of a tea snob. With the whole process of that, pouring the water over the fresh black tea in the pot, letting it sit. I've even got like a special little tea cozy with an owl on it.
You like the ritual.
I like the ritual, yeah. And I've tried all different herbal teas, but black tea gives you that kick, right? So it's probably why I like it. So the more tired I get, more tea I drink. So that's something that I did definitely look at. And then I started looking at absorption and, am I absorbing the foods that I'm eating, or I've got some digestive issues happening. And around that time, that's when I was following Paleo MG, Julie Bauer, and she had been having some digestive issues, and she'd switched to the bean protocol. And that was like really big for a little while back then. Everyone was like, who had been paleo or eating real food or keto or whatever, had cut out legumes out of their diet because, too high in carbs or causing gut issues. And I was like, I'm going to just try this and see if it can help. So I started adding actually a little bit of legumes back into my diet, only a little bit. Like I can't eat chickpeas. They still cause me issues. What I found though, I could have like a little bit of pinto beans or a little bit of red kidney beans or a little bit of brown lentils or green lentils. They were all okay. Pretty much all the rest of the stuff wasn't good. And I had to properly prepare them, soak them. And I wasn't eating huge amounts. I was eating just a little bit with each meal. Apparently that's meant to help, like the fiber's meant to help with the lining of the gut and everything like that. So I tried that for a bit, reduced the tea, made sure I was eating the right foods for iron. And I actually did increase my iron levels to the point where, the doctor was happy and I was feeling good. But then yeah. So then over time though, so I went to the doctor and he's like, oh, so what's been happening now to cause this iron to go down? And I was like, he goes, what are you doing or not doing? I was like, I'm sitting there drinking my black tea again. And I'd cut out the beans because I felt like I didn't really need them anymore, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's just interesting. The point of the story is how nutrition can really make a big difference with the absorption or lack of contraindication of particular nutrients in the body, i.e. iron deficiency being a really big one. So
yeah.
And
a lot. Oh, go ahead, finish.
I was going to say, and then yeah, and it might not just be that for you. Other areas to look at, I was just going to say, parasites can deplete iron, blood loss. So as we're getting older, going into perimenopause, there's some changes in menstruation, or people might in general have the blood loss. And then I was reading too, apparently vigorous exercise can deplete your iron. So there's some of the other areas to look at that didn't really apply too much to me. Sorry, Holly, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I was just going to tie it all kind of back in to where micronutrient deficiencies are going to show up as other signs and symptoms in your body. And so we are always so quick to be like, oh, I'm tired, what's wrong? Or I need more caffeine, or I'm not getting enough sleep. But whatever the symptom is, instead of like trying to just slap a label on it and take a supplement, because we're always quick to being like, what supplements can I take for XYZ symptoms? It's always important to remember to go back and ask yourself, well, why am I feeling this way? What could be the cause of it? Or if you are someone who gets routine blood work done and there are things that come up in your lab saying that you're low in certain areas, instead of just saying, okay, I can take a supplement for that, or I can take a pill for that. The point of the conversations we've been having over the last month is to always take that extra step and ask the deeper question as to why. What could be causing this? And another thing we've been talking about also is if you are going to be supplementing, to be sure that you're supplementing with things that are in their most bioavailable format, that you're not just taking individual micronutrient supplements, because when we're eating foods in nature to get our micronutrients, nature doesn't make mistakes. Our foods are created in perfect balance with the right nutrients that go together to create this symbiotic staying in our body and to be in homeostasis. Yeah, so everything's then. So when we are just choosing one or two nutrients to supplement because a lab report came back saying we're low in something, that could further send us into imbalance within the body. And so that's why it's important to just always ask those questions, just be aware, and just try to dig a little bit deeper and take those all the advice and comments on, if you are taking this to an internet forum to ask for questions, take those with a grain of salt, because working with a practitioner or someone who is trained will always know those next answers to talk about. But yes, Leah, you brought up parasites. So I have been
Favorite conversation.
oh gosh. Okay. So I have been a Cellcore authorized practitioner for a while now. And one of their big things is doing parasite cleansing, because a fact is that a lot of root cause issues are related to parasites. Now, parasites are a normal part of life. We get them. You don't have to travel to third world countries to get parasites. You can get parasites walking barefoot outside, eating sushi. If you have pets, you're probably coming in contact with parasites. But our body is supposed to be able to naturally get rid of them, and get over it within the body. That's if you have a
Be
perfectly
resilient.
be resilient. Thank you. I could not
Yeah.
find the word. And that is if our immune system's functioning properly. But we also live in a world where our immune systems aren't always functioning properly due to diet, lifestyle, stress, environmental factors, a whole bunch of things that fill up our stress bucket. And so maybe our body is not keeping up with the parasitic load. And so just as we deworm our pets and farm animals, it's not totally weird to deworm ourselves. And Cellcore has a protocol where they do a full moon cleanse. It's a kit. Really, it's just you can do however many days, from like 3 to 7 days, and you do it around the full moon. And that is because parasites are more active during the full moon, because melatonin goes down and serotonin is increased, and serotonin makes parasites more active. So that's a really good time to target them with high doses of anti-parasitic herbs. So I just did my first full moon parasite cleanse, and wow. Wow. I won't get too graphic. I'm certainly not going to share any pictures, because I know a lot of
No
people do
pictures.
that. But you should seriously, if you have any kind of brain fog, tiredness, weird symptoms, skin issues, allergies, pretty much any symptom under the sun, if you're having trouble finding out what it is, I encourage you to try a parasite cleanse, because those things are way better out than in, is all I'm going to say. And I was blown away by my results. And I think I might have created an addict, because I want to do it every month now until I no longer see anything freaky.
Do you think there'll be a time when there's never anything there though? Like,
No, but I
hmm.
do think, I mentioned pets, like we deworm our pets regularly, if not annually. I'm not sure what the pet deworming schedule is, but I do think that it should be something that we do once a year, if not twice a year. And just as parasites work with the rhythms of the moon, I think we should do cleansing and or detoxing, whatever word you want to use for giving your body a little bit of a reset, a boost, a cleanse, working with the circadian rhythms of the earth and with the seasons. And the two natural times to do a cleanse, if not at a full moon, if you're going to do it with the seasons, would be spring and fall. And that's when our bodies are naturally going through their own cleansing processes anyways. So to bring it full circle, that anything that we can do to support our immune system to function better is going to be able to help us get the micronutrients we need to continue having a body that is functioning optimally.
Yeah, and as we know, that's usually the reason why parasites love to thrive in your gut environment is perhaps because of low hydrochloric acid. So you're not, getting those stomach juices churning to break down food properly, which can cause like bits of undigested food in there, which can cause the parasites or bacteria or whatever it is, the yeasts and beasts, the yeasties and beasties to come up
to
and
become
thrive.
that's when they
Opportunistic, yeah.
opportunistic environment.
Yeah. So we want to
And
make
also,
sure.
and also if we're not properly digesting our foods and having the right pH and acidity within our digestive system, that means we're not fully digesting our food. So that means we are not breaking down our food in the nutrients and getting the micronutrients. So it's kind of like a double punch there. We're not absorbing the nutrients we need to be using, and we're creating an environment for these opportunistic parasites and yeasty beasties to take over and push us further on the spectrum of nutritional deficiencies.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this has been certainly an interesting conversation. We always think that we're not going to have enough to talk about, and then we have to end up pulling ourselves short, Holly.
Yeah, and I think this is a good time to just remind people that we are changing things at the show, and we want to start doing more lives like this. We will be doing our monthly co-host like recap episode like this on live. So please send us any questions you have, topics you want to discuss. We want this to be interactive because Leah and I could just talk for ourselves and for fun, but we really do want to help. We want to spread awareness and education, or even if we can just like put a little seed in your mind that lets you have an aha moment where you can go and then find some health answers for yourself, maybe something you hadn't thought of before.
Yeah, it's all about empowering yourselves, and hopefully we can give you some encouragement to find the right places to find that information for yourselves, rather than just reading articles that we see online or asking questions in forum, which might not give you the right kind of answers to your questions. So helping you find the right places to find the answers.
Yeah, so if you see any articles or you see any lively discussions and online help forums, send them our way, because we're always looking for
we love to debunk them.
Material, to debunk them. And then also, since we are just changing over the show, if there are any topics you would like us to dive into, or guests you would like us to speak with, please share those with us as well.
Yeah, and then we'll definitely let you know with enough time on our Instagram page, which is Real Health Conversations, when we're going to go live next. So you can join in and join us live. We're going to try and do this time zone, which I think is like 7 p.m. For Pacific time, 8 p.m. for Holly's time, which is, is that country time?
It's like country time. So it's actually like almost 9 p.m. for me right now. So that means it's almost 10 for our East Coasters, and it's closer to 7 for the Pacific time.
Yeah. And then here in Australia, it's like close, it's nearly 12 p.m. So we think
the next day.
Yeah, the next day in the future. I'm in the future. So we're trying to find that like evening for you guys, middle of the day for us. I think that will be a good slot. Join us live, ask question live, interact with us live, and you might even hear hear your question asked out on the podcast. So,
Yeah.
so join us. We'll let you know with enough time anyway. So thanks for
Okay.
joining us for our real health conversation this week.
I'm gonna share. I'm gonna sign off with a sunset view for you guys.
Beautiful. Holly's. If you have been listening and the sound has been just a little bit,
that's not letting me do it.
A little bit noisy. That's Holly's cicadas in the background there. Beautiful. For those that can't see, she is showing us a beautiful sunset over her property. Living the life.
I'm glad my rooster hasn't been crowing.
Farm life. Hashtag farm life. All right. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Our theme music is by Andrew Bowden, and our production services are by Kevin Kennedy Spain of Disc of Light Media. We hope you'll have a great week.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.